Very good morning, guys. This is Rakesh Kagnecha from Lalpur Khalsa College of Engineering. So, in this particular video, this is basically a continuation of the first lecture which we have discussed. So, in the last video, if you remember, we have discussed how to write a contents into the file, what are the various file opening modes, what is the importance of each and every mode, what is the syntax of fopen, why we are using integer while we want to put anything into the file, and how are the what are the other basic preliminary information which we required in order to used that particular information into the files. Okay, so what we are going to do in this particular video. So although the concept has been cleared, so now we are moving forward from the basic to little more advanced version of files. So in this particular video we'll discuss about the two programs, how to read using some other functions, and how to copy one file information to the another file information. Okay, so this is a program what we are going to discuss, how to read from the text file. As we all know, as you people know, there are basically two types of files which we are going to discuss. One is text file and another one is binary file. Okay, so in the scenario of the text file, we have basically 6 types of modes. The only difference between, if we'll discuss about the mode, is that in case of binary, like in the text file we have used read mode, and in case of binary we'll use RB. B stands for binary. Okay, and binary file which contains 0 and 1, and text file which contains sky characters. That we have already discussed in the first video. This is basically the third video of file handling. Okay, so just look towards the header files. So we have used two header files over there, stdio.n and stdlib.n. lib contains all the file functions and all the important information, and it will relate it to the file. Okay, let's begin the program. In the beginning of program, you can see we have used integer as a return type of main. So whenever we have used integer over there, so we need to return something. So in this particular video, we have returned 0. Okay, very basic thing which we have discussed many times, although in the class as well as in the lab lectures or in the video lectures also. So now we have the file pointer. So why we have used file pointer, you know the reason. Okay, fptr is basically the backbone of a particular file. Okay, so now we are going to open a file. So if you remember, in the first video in which we have already done this program, but there is something which is very different. Okay, so in that particular video we have used while loop, if you remember, but in this particular video we have used if statement. What we are going to show in this particular video is that, just look at the first fopen. We have discussed about that fopen. Name of the file, path of the file, and the mode. And the mode which we are going to use over there is read mode, because we are going to read from a text file. Although in the next coming videos we will use R plus, A plus and W plus mode also, but this is something which we initiated the concept. So we will go towards the initial concepts. Okay, so if this is equal to null, now question arises, why this is equal to null? If it returns null, okay, it means if the file doesn't exist and we are unable to open that particular file, then it will return null. Okay, and we know that the information which is returned by this thing is going to be stored in the file pointer. So if it happens like that, then it will return error opening a file. Okay, then we have exit true condition. Exit is basically a function which we use in order to come out from that particular statement in a simple and sophisticated manner. Okay, so the basic concept, this is basically a logic to open the file in the read mode. Now how to scan that value from the file which we use in order to check whether the same information has been retrieved over the interface, or we can say prompt. We have used the word prompt in the previous video, so I'll use the same word. Fscanf we use a file pointer over there, okay, and then we have used, and then we are going to scan a number, okay. Fscanf means it will scan and that particular thing from a file. In this case we have used integer. Now we have scanned that information. Now we are going to show that information on the prompt. For that we have used printf, value of this. The same thing which we are going to use whenever we are going to deal with any of the variable. The same thing same thing is going to be done over there only. The only difference is that in this case we'll use files. We have some operations related to files and some things which is only be implemented with the help of file. And then we have used fclose. Now we are going to close that file. At last it will return 0. Now why it will return 0, you know that answer, because we have started with the teacher. In order to understand the concept in a very simple way, if you want to read from the file, what you will do? If you want to read something from your notebook, what you will do? The first you will find that notebook. If you are not able to find that notebook, you will say I am not able to find, error. Then you will just scan that information into your brain, okay, and then you will write that information into a chunk of paper, or maybe in the examination, maybe in the assignment, in order to check. The same thing is going to be happened over there. The simplest concept, easy concept, the only difference is that we have pointer, we have modes, we have some other functions of which is related to file. Although we can use structure over there, although we can use pointers and many other things, arrays, and all the concept will be implemented one by one. First, this is basic concept, basic things, basic orientation of file handling. In a very simple word, if we'll say. Getting my point, guys? I'll repeat the same thing again and again. Please write the important chunk of information into a piece of paper and then mark those important information and then try to correlate that particular information with the programs. And you're supposed to write the same programs into the practical files. Okay, guys? The same programs with the output you need to mention, as we used to discuss in the videos. The same thing which is we are focusing more on programming part, because once you are done with programming, then you are able to write as much theory you want to write in the paper. Okay, guys? Okay. Now, another good thing which you are going to do is to copy a file information. The question arises, what function which we are using for reading? Two things. In order to copy, what we'll do if you want to copy something from A notebook to B notebook, you need to read and you need to write. Okay, and in the file handling, we'll do the same thing. Nothing different. Only difference is that there are certain functions which will help us to move those things, to do those things. For reading, we use the function fgetC. Okay, and if you look at the file pointer, we pass a sky value which will be returned. Okay, and it in this case will read character by character. Now, what to do to write character by character functions? Okay, we have read. We just imagine and we just think that we have read. Now we need to write that character by character. For that, we'll use fputC. If you can see, fputC. It will be used. It will take two arguments. If you can see in this particular function, one is integer type and second is file pointer. Okay, fputC is used to write one character as a first argument, okay, which we need, and in the second will use file pointer, which we need to pass as a second pointer. Now you will definitely see there is a void over there. If you look at this particular syntax, you see there is a void over there. Now why we have used void over there? Because it will not return anything. Remember, friends, it will not return anything. Right. Okay. Now, in this particular program, if you can see, in the main function we take two file pointers. Okay, so we have started the program with the main. Okay, so now we are going to deal with the two files, And if we are going to deal with the two files, how many pointers we require? Two. A very simple thing. No need to think more. Two files, 2 pointer. Three files, 3 pointer. In basic terms, which we are going to learn now. Okay. In main functions, we will take 2 file pointer. And guys, try to guess the name of the pointers. Okay, good. Yes, you are thinking absolutely right. First pointer is fp1 and second pointer is fp2. Now, as usual, we need to use an fopen function. We'll open one file in read mode from particular location. It has been defined. And try to fetch the location. This is E drive. Okay. Then we have input.txt file over there. Although you can add another folder in which you want to save the file, but in order to make the concept simple. Okay. We'll open a file in read mode from location and and it will represent, obviously R will represent a read mode. What is read mode? Just try to fetch that information which you have written in the piece of paper in the first video of today. Okay. Now we are fetching into file pointer 1. When we open a file in read mode, file should be present. If file is not present, then what will happen? The answer should be in your mind. If a file is not present, what will happen? If a file is not present, it will return a null pointer. Okay. Now we are opening another file. Okay. The name of the other file is, we have used input.txt, but you may use a different name as output.txt. Okay. So you may write output.txt instead of input.txt in write mode. What is happened in the write mode? Okay. It will try to find a file. Okay. And if not present, then it will create a file. Okay. It will not give us a error. Okay. Like in the read mode, it will give us error that file is not present. But we are imagining the file is opening in the read mode because we want to copy a location. And if the file is not present, it will not give a error. It will create an open. So basically 2 files are created. 2 files, 2 file pointer. File 1 to read information and file 2 to write information. Okay. Now we have used integer as a character over there. Why we have used integer character over there? There must be a question in your mind. And now you are able to answer that question answer that particular question. Why we have used that particular integer character over there? Okay, I'll make situation more clear for you. I'll explain the concept more and then you will try to fetch the answer. While, now we use while loop over there. Now we use fgetC fp1. What is going to be root? What it is going to be do? fgetC. As the name suggests and the function which we have already done, it will read character by character and character will correspond to ASCII value and ASCII value is in, yes, you are thinking right. For example, it is 97 and it is an integer and we are doing character by character. Okay, and it will collect the same character and write that character into the file with the help of a function called as fputC. So we have used getC to get that information and putC to write that information. And we have used 2 file pointer fp1 and fp2. fp1 for file pointer 1 and fp2 for file 2. And once we have stored that, once we have put that information into the second file, we'll print printf copied. In the C drive, tc bin folder where we have created, once you have created a file, it will be created in the C drive bin folder or tc bin folder where with the same path which you have used, it will do the same thing for you. Getting my point, guys? The same thing which we have done while we are going to fetching that character. In this case, we have clubbed those 2 programs, reading and writing, into the single program. Getting my point, guys? Yes, exactly. Hope you are having good knowledge right now of files, read, write, copy, and some other modes and the functions. Although it has not been finished yet, we are still left with binary file and some more things. Okay, so just try to ask as many questions you can so the concept will be more easy. Okay, So be safe and happy learning, guys. Thank you for your patience listening.